West Papua, rich in cultural diversity and home to many ethnic groups, also has a long history of intertribal conflicts. In this region, while many tribes live in harmony, tribal wars still occur. These conflicts are often triggered by various factors, such as land disputes, natural resource competition, or even long-held family feuds for the tribes in Papua. Land and territory are not just physical spaces, but represent their identity and honor. Therefore, battles between tribes often start over seemingly small issues, but can escalate into large-scale and bloody conflicts. Common causes of conflict are some of the main reasons why tribal wars occur in West Papua. Territorial and resource disputes. West Papua is known for its abundant natural resources, such as gold mines and rich forests. The areas with these resources often become points of contention between tribes, each believing they have the rightful claim to them. Old feuds. Tribal conflicts can also be sparked by old feuds passed down through generations. In some cases, war is not just about land or resources, but about settling scores that have been unresolved for a long time, cultural and religious differences. While many tribes in Papua share similar languages and customs, there are still significant differences. These cultural distinctions can lead to tension, especially when one tribe feels insulted or treated unfairly by another. External influences. The presence of large companies exploiting natural resources often worsens the tensions between tribes. When the government or multinational corporations make decisions without consulting the local tribes, it can exacerbate existing conflicts. Military structure and leadership. A tribe in Papua has its own way of organizing and leading its forces. Typically, a war leader is a chief or a highly respected figure within the tribe. These leaders are chosen not only for their physical strength, but also for their wisdom and ability to make sound decisions. Wisdom and leadership. The war leader must be wise and able to lead with fairness. The decisions they make have a significant impact on the course of the conflict. Bravery and strength. In many tribes, the war leader is also known for their bravery. They often have experience in combat and are respected for their courage in battle. Loyalty to custom. A war leader must have a deep understanding of their tribe's customs and traditions. The war must adhere to these traditions to avoid violating the tribe's norms. The warriors themselves are young men from the tribe, ready to fight for their people. They are often armed with traditional weapons like machetes, spears, and bows. In some cases, firearms are used, especially in larger conflicts. Approval of war. Before a war officially begins, there's usually a lengthy process in which both sides agree to engage in battle. Here are the common steps taken. Traditional negotiation. Before large-scale conflict begins, the tribal elders will often meet to try to resolve the issue peacefully. If negotiations fail, then war becomes the last option. Declaration of war. War is formally announced in a way that is specific to each tribe. In some cases, it is announced through a traditional ceremony or by sounding drums to signify that a war is about to begin. Selection of the battleground. The location of the war is carefully chosen. Typically, the place of battle is far from settlements or valuable resources. This is done to minimize losses for both sides. The final trigger. The war usually begins after a series of unresolved tensions. It could be triggered by a murder, theft, or a dispute that has not been settled through peaceful means, and war becomes the final way to resolve the issue. Root causes of the conflict. Root of many tribal wars in Papua is often rooted in territorial disputes and the fight over natural resources. For many tribes, land is not just a place to live, but an essential part of their identity and dignity. When their rights to this land are questioned or taken away, it becomes a catalyst for conflict. Additionally, the introduction of external influences such as government projects or corporate exploitation of natural resources can worsen the tension between tribes, especially when local tribes feel left out of important decisions. War leaders and tactics use its war leader in each tribe is usually chosen based on their experience and respect within the tribe. They must be capable of guiding their warriors through battle and knowing when to fight and when to negotiate for peace. The tactics used in battle depend greatly on the terrain and situation. Many tribes still use traditional tactics, such as ambushes and night raids. Stopping the warriors do not last forever. After some time, both sides typically make efforts to stop the fighting. Peace negotiations are often initiated by tribal elders, with the aim of reaching an agreement that both sides can accept. The decision to stop the war is usually influenced by the growing toll of the fighting or the realization that neither side is benefiting. Handling casualties and post-war resolution when casualties occur, whether from injuries or deaths. They are typically dealt with according to traditional customs. The injured are taken to a safe place for medical treatment, which may involve either traditional or modern methods of healing. If someone is killed, the affected family is often compensated according to the tribe's customs. Typically, this compensation might involve a payment of goods or even the exchange of family members as a form of restitution, depending on the severity of the loss.